Good morning, everybody. I'm Laura Costello. I'm the president of GASPEN. I know we have a few people that will probably still be joining us a little late, but in the essence of time, I wanted to go ahead and get us started so that we do not get behind schedule. So this is my first year of president of GASPEN, and I wanted to tell y'all a little funny story. This week, I have a first grader and a pre-K, both daughters, and I've not been home as much. Just, this has been a busy week gearing up for the conference. And so my husband was explaining to them, mom's the president, and I think he said GASPEN, they don't know what that is. And she's not going to be here as much. She's got a big event on Friday. And my first grader, he said her eyes got really big and said, "Mom's the president?" And then he had to explain to her, well, there's lots of different kinds of presidents. She's not the president of the United States. So Wednesday night when I was tucking her in bed, she was like, "So Mom, you're not the president of our country." And I was like, "No, I'm not the president of the United States of America." So, and then she knows I help people with hurt tummies. And so she's like, "Oh, so you're president of that?" And I was like, "Kind of." So I'm not the president of the United States. Okay. There we go. All right. So first, I want to start off with our thank you. So I wanted to thank Andrea and Michelle, our partners at Aspen, that help us with our CE process, and they just help us as our partner in putting on this great event. And our goal with GASPEN is we know that it's not always feasible for everyone to travel to the National Aspen Conference every year. And so it's really for us at a local level to be able to bring education to our community here in Georgia, and then also just, fellowship and networking, but ultimately with education in the support of GASPEN through Aspen. And then our GASPEN board members. So we could not put on this event without a team effort, that is for sure. So we have Ashley DePriest, who is our elected president-elect, and then Nathan Schober, who is our secretary-treasurer. Those are our elected officer positions. And then we have our voting members and our observing and supporting members. And Kathija is one of our moderators that will be starting our first session. And then we also have Marlene and Susanna and Yolanda that will be our other moderators for our sessions today. We also cannot put on this event without our sponsors, our vendors. So we wanted to do a big thank you to our sole diamond sponsor, Baxter. For our platinum sponsors, we wanted to thank Takeda and Solio Health. Our gold sponsors are Emerita, NutriShare, and Kate Farms. And then our silver sponsors are Alcresta, Abbott, Functional Formularies, and Medtrition. So this event could not be possible without them. So we're very grateful for their support. You should have at check-in, if you have not grabbed one yet, get one of our passports. And we have a raffle at the end. So every one of these spaces, Baxter is the only one that's in the hall here. The rest are in the azalea room. So everybody has a fun stamp to complete your passport. So once you're able to visit all of the booths, we have a little Paisley basket bag out on the check-in table. Drop your card in there. Don't forget to write your name. You'll see right by Baxter your name there. And so please write your name so that we can make sure we give the correct raffle. So we do have 3 different raffles today. We have an Aspen $50 gift card that can be used anything for the Aspen store. We have the bariatric handbook that Melissa, who will be one of our first presenters, is one of the co-authors for. So we're very excited about that. And then we have 1 year complimentary GASPEN membership. So these are our speakers. And so all of our moderators will be reading their bios during their introductions, but thank you so much to our speakers today. This is going to be a fantastic conference. We have a lot of really great topics today. So just to review our conference schedule, we do have it printed out by the check-in table as well. And I know this also came in an email format, but just to review with everybody. So our first presentation is from 9 to 10 with Amber and Melissa. Then we'll have a second presentation directly after that from 10 to 11 with Dr. Sir. Then we will have 30 minutes dedicated to the exhibitor hall in the Azalea room. And then our lunch will not start in the dining room until 11:30. So lunch will be open from 11:30 to 12, but that exhibit area will stay open from 11 to 12:30. And then at 12:30, we'll meet back in here and we'll start our second round of presentations with our nutrition support team speakers. So that'll be an hour-and-a-half presentation from 11:30 to 12:30 to 2. Then we'll take a quick break, just to refresh. And then we'll have our final presentation from 2:15 to 3:15, our ethics presentation. And then we'll do a quick wrap up. We'll do the raffle. And then we'll have everybody out of here no later than 3:30 is our goal. So I know it's been a little bit of a maze in this wonderful conference center, but I wanted just to display this map for everybody coming in and kind of not knowing where everything is. So we're in the red area, red star, the Emory Amphitheater. So right out these doors to the left is our refreshment area. So there's a continental breakfast, drinks will be restocked through the day, snacks. Directly across from us is the restrooms. And then the yellow line kind of around, if you follow that around, the Azalea room is back here, and that is our exhibit area. And then to get to the dining hall, you will continue following that yellow area around, and that's the green star. And hopefully you all parked in the north deck. So you'll see the elevators and the parking down there, kind of closer to the dining room area. So just a few housekeeping. So our Wi-Fi, it is not password protected, but everyone should be able to access the Emory guest in here. The parking, so you probably had to take a ticket this morning coming in. All of those gates will be open when it's time for us to exit, so you don't have to worry about getting a validation. And then our raffle ticket, so make sure that that's during that break we have, that last break from 2 to 2:15, make sure you're turning your raffle ticket in at that time, because then we'll be pulling directly after our last session. So 3:15 to 3:30, we'll be pulling that right before we leave. And then for our virtual attendees today, any questions that you all have after, during or after the presentation, please put those in the chat and our moderators will be observing those. For our in-person attendees, we will have these microphones. So, all but one of our presentations today has multiple speakers. And so we will hold our questions, and it can be for either speaker, any of the speakers during the presentation. So we will have these microphones on the side at the end of the presentations for questions. I did want to mention, if you all have not heard, that next week begins Malnutrition Awareness Week. So on the Aspen website, nutritioncare.org/MAW, you can go and register for some of these great continuing education sessions next week. And then I also wanted to mention, so Vivian Zhao, our immediate past president, she really led us getting us up to date into the 21st century with a website. So this is newer for us. We've only had this for a couple years, but we're really trying to make sure people are aware of it. So it's gaspen.org. So this is the homepage. And I wanted to show at the bottom of the homepage, so if you scroll down, it says subscribe to GASPEN. So if you put in your name and email address, anytime we load something on the website with our meetings, with our continuing education, any event, you will automatically get notified of that. I promise we won't bombard you like no more than once a month type of email, but this way you can just stay in the know, and we can really utilize our website to the fullest. I did want to mention one more thing today that I'm very proud of, is that all of our speakers here at GASPEN this year are local to Georgia. So I think that's very exciting that we're able to showcase our local talent. And so that is all I have for this morning. And so I'm going to pass it over to Khadijah